Well, we're now leaving our campsite here at Home Lake. This is a real nice campsite. If you can see, there's a lot of mature white pines and some red pines that are mature. And you can have multi-hangs here. We could probably have gotten 8 hammocks in here. It's open up on a hill, but the only thing that we kind of did not like, it was away from the lake. The lake is down that way. What kind of wildlife do we have?
We have different variety of birds, owls, loons, rabbits, chipmunks,
red squirrels.
Yeah, it's just like, it seems like and the butterflies, and it seems like the forest is just kind of coming alive with a little bit of snow and the weather warming up. Things are really moving around. So.
Yeah, last night we had a bunch of rabbits come in. Yeah, they're digging underneath the pine needles and finding vegetation to eat. But that was kind of cool seeing all these rabbits coming in. But no wolves. I didn't hear the wolves. We haven't seen any moose. So hopefully in the next campsite we'll see some signs. I didn't see any signs of wolf or moose here yet. Seen deer tracks, but that's about it. So far on this trip, we haven't had many blowdowns. Here's a blowdown that happened years ago. I came over these 2 boulders here, and that's the first time I had to go under. One time over on the west side we had to go over a log, but otherwise this trail has been very clean. I don't know if they keep maintenance on it, that there's a lot of people that travel on here, so they keep it up. It's nothing like the other trails I've been on, the Boundary Waters. This is really a nice clean trail, beautiful trail. You can see the mature pines on here. It's a great trail to hike on. So far we've been seeing a lot of these boulders I've been telling you about, and here's 2 great big boulders. You'll go every maybe 100 yards and you'll see a boulder or smaller boulders, but it's just loaded with boulders here. It's really cool. Boy, I was hoping to see a moose down there. It's beautiful down there. But no moose. I can see some trails down there where they've been hiking through there. Cool little overlook on Whiskey Jack Lake. Yeah, this is Whiskey Lake campsite. Small little campsite. It's on a small lake. Looked like it'd be pretty good fishing here. Good hang site. There's 2 or 3 good hangs that you could hang on this site here, but it's a pretty little lake. It definitely will come back to this site. We're at this Angleworm Lake campsite right here. We came from Home Lake over here. That Whiskey Jack Lake campsite was there. And now we're over at this Angleworm Lake, which is a beautiful campsite. It's a real nice campsite.
Here we are at a beautiful campsite on the Angleworm Trail, taking a quick lunch break here, and just got thinking what a great addition to this trip was with this seat pad that I ordered, thermal rest seat pad, ordered online from REI. Very comfortable to sit on the Sandsport stool, as well as when we go into travel, packing. It works great to travel this way. Holds right up, hang it right on the back of the pack. That works great. The other part of it is that I really like too in the hammock, on the foot part of the hammock, it makes for nice insulator down there. So I really do feel the difference too. Our value was something like 2 or something, but for what this cost me online at REI, I think it's just a great addition. Very pleased with it.
Sir, I got a question.
Yeah, well, we allow that.
Why do you have a Band-Aid on your stand sports stool?
Oh, because it came off of my hand when I was sawing all that wood while you were taking a nap yesterday. I was cutting all that wood. I kind of almost worked up a blister, so it was on my hand.
Keep going. You're going to need that Band-Aid for somewhere else.
Yeah. Had a Thermarest seat pad that we ordered here. Like I was mentioning a moment ago, it travels really nicely right into this seat, and so and you can tell by the way it's in there, it's not going anywhere. So it's just it travels real nice, and it's very, very lightweight. I can't remember the few ounces. So.
The ULA Ohm on the left and the Z-Pack Arc Haul on the right. Great little packs, great packs. The one on the right is a Z-Pack Arc Haul. This is my first trip using it. I've used other packs before, even the Ohm. The Ohm is a great pack, it's one of my favorite packs, but this new Z-Pack Arc Haul holds a little more gear. I like how you got the pockets on the side. On the upper part you can get as an accessory. I love that pack. That's now my favorite pack. I'll do a review on it after I use it a couple more times. I don't want to do a review until I've used at least a few times to get the bugs out. What do you got there, runner?
Well, I got 2 great packs. This is how we're going to head down the trail. They're really very lightweight, so prefer to travel with them on the back, but we'll kind of go this way, okay?
Are you carrying both of them?
I'm going to give you a break. Since you nap all the time, I think you need a rest today. So I'm going to slide them both on, and away we go.
So you come across these markers here. Otherwise, most of the time it's a cairn. Cairn is a pile of rocks stacked up on each other or just stacked up one another. And let you know that there's a campsite in this area. You could pretty much see the trail, but this way there'll be cairns there to mark the trail. Rarely do you see posts like that up in the boundary waters. This is kind of unique to have that. So far we've seen 3 of them here. Rarely you don't have posts like that to mark the trail where the campsites are. Usually it's just a pile of rocks on there. When we're back in Home Lake, there was a pile of rock where a tree fell on it, and we kind of missed it and came back to it, and I kind of cleaned it up so people see that that's where the campsite is. So if you're up here, you're looking for campsites, usually in the boundary waters, you look for trail number 1. Otherwise, cairns, rocks stacked up. It might even be 2 or 3 rocks. Rarely will you see a post up here, but this trail does have some posts that mark some campsites. Oh, we're kicking back here. Just got some firewood. We're gonna take a little rest, maybe a nap. Then we'll get up and eat and then get a fire going. But you gotta check this view out for my hammock. Check that out. Now that's a view. No, that's not a view. That's the view. It's gorgeous. Well, we just finished eating dinner. I had a shepherd's cottage pie. Oh, was that wonderful. It's one of my favorite, one by Packet Gourmet. Whenever I go on a trip, I always have one of those in my bear bag. But man, you should have seen what Runner ate. He had this huge feast, and this is the remains. Look at that. What an appetite.
I was hungry tonight, man. Holy cow. You know the fair part of it too, so.
Man, I was worried about my fingers. We just came out of camp, and in our camp down below by the lake, on Angleworm Lake, was a logging camp, and you can see all this junk down there, pulleys and barrels and oil barrels, and up here were gas tanks, and that there is a fuel pump that they would pump the fuel out probably to all the vehicles that came in and out of here to do the logging out of here. So back in the early 30s, they did a lot of logging in here, and they bring the trucks, I suppose, in this area here to fuel up, and then as they went out did all the logging. So this is kind of interesting, the history.